Hey, and welcome back not again to the weekly podcast of Marcus and Dan, but this time we should call it Marcus and Ryan. Because my partner in crime, Dan, is laying down in Seattle, being sick for, is it 2 weeks straight now, I think?
Some kind of sickness.
I don't know what that kind of sickness is, to be laying down in bed for 2 weeks.
I mean, I'm a bit sick right now. I got a cold and, not feeling that well, but I'm here.
That's true.
I stepped up, but, Dan must really, really be, air quotes, sick.
I know, and I think that when I was sick, when I was younger, my dad always told me to put an apple beside the bed. Because he said that the lazy worm would crawl out into the apple.
There's definitely no apple beside Dan's bed, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's true.
Dan, if you're out there, please don't be offended by the guest appearance. You can call me Dan today, Marcus. I can just pretend to be Dan. I look forward to hearing your voice back on next week's podcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna call you Dan. That will be. I don't know if you would be comfortable be calling Dan.
Yeah, well, I got two friends that are named Dan, and they're both crazy as fuck. So, yeah, maybe it would not be for the best.
Oh, I think there is something with that name.
It's true.
No. So, well, it was a great time talking to you last time, and I'm grateful to have you back for standing in.
No problem. You can't get Dan, you can't get stawed. You got to really go to the bottom of the bucket, and I'm here for you. So glad to
Exactly. And we won't leave our fans hanging out there too long.
No. It's got to be every week on the week.
Exactly. That's right.
So what's new with you, Marcus?
Well, not much. Going around waiting for vacation. Going on vacation on Friday, so that's going to be really good.
You're going on the European tour or what?
No, it's gonna only be a 2 weeks vacation this year because we had the weeks in Japan in April.
Yeah.
So we're going to Stockholm to visit you this weekend. Then going to Denmark to visit Natasha's family, and then going 1 week to Spain.
Nice. Where in Spain?
To Malaga.
Make sure. Is it like a beach town or what?
I haven't. I think it's the lowest part of Spain, so it's a beach town resort. But I think it's a lot of tourists.
Are you going to one of these full package, like Club Med resort things?
No, actually not. This is a good friend of ours, Daniel and Eric. They have an apartment down there, so I don't know. We've never been there, so we just know that we got a car when we get down and an apartment to stay in.
Interesting. Very nice.
I know, and because me and Natasha we used to sit down a couple of weeks before we go to vacation and see where we're gonna eat, how we're gonna get there, the hotels. But this year we're just standing ham flat doing nothing.
Sweet. Make sure you rent some bikes and go around town, take lots of photos.
I will. A lot.
When I was I was away, I mentioned on the last podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I was in a mountain town called Chamonix, and there's all this bike rentals, like, mountain bikes and all this kind of thing. And all of the mountain bikes that we saw for rental are now electric.
What?
Yes, electric downhill mountain bikes. Like, how lazy is this world getting that now, like, an outdoor activity that is, it's about exercise, it's about, let's put an engine on the bike. Like,
but so you mean that because this is, you go with the lift, you go up with a bike to the top of the mountain.
Correct, but it's like, like it's an electric bike, so it just it helps you pedal, and like it's like nothing. I can't even begin.
That's the dumbest thing I heard.
Yeah, it's the laziest thing I've ever heard as well.
I mean, we actually was talking about this during the lunch yesterday at work, and I can see the good thing with an electric bike for people that have older people that have problem with the hips or the legs or something like that.
Yeah, it's good for commuting and like if you don't want to get sweaty and all this kind of stuff. But like for mountain biking and an outdoor sport, like you've got to be kidding me. Why? It's just unbelievable. So please don't rent an electric bike down in your resort town in Spain on your holiday.
No, don't. I mean, that's the stupid thing I heard in a long time.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Also lazy thing, but even more stupid. I don't know if it's more stupid, but kind of. That's a thing in Oslo here, or probably in Stockholm too. It's grown people riding kick bikes for kids.
What?
Have you seen any more dumber stuff than a small kick bike, and then you have a grown up man in a suit going around to the subway on a kid's kick bike?
No.
Yes, this is a lot of them here.
This is one of those people you just, if you see them coming towards you on the sidewalk, you just throw out the hip or throw out the elbow a little bit and just clip them enough to knock them off balance.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some wood or something to have in my backpack that I can throw in the way from them when they're coming, because the wheels are so small, so they're probably gonna fall over. No, I mean it looks so stupid.
Oh my gosh! What's the worst part about using a kick bike?
I don't know. You tell me.
Telling your parents you're gay.
That and the rollerblading.
Yes, exactly. The joke works. The joke works for just about anything.
And even it works even today, because you told me that joke the first time 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still funny.
It's like the only joke I have. I'm a one-trick pony.
Kind of the guy that have one magic trick and they do it on all the parties. And you have that one. Exactly.
No, I do have one trick for parties. And I don't know if you've ever... The condom trick. Have you ever seen me...
Yeah, I saw it last time. When was that? You showed us that.
I haven't done that in a few years, but it's a good party trick, and it's won me a lot of money.
And what do you do?
Just you snort a condom up your nose and then pull it out your mouth, and then you have one end going in your nose and one end coming out your mouth, and then you pull it out and take people's money.
Oh, but it should be so disgusting.
Well, it's not that hard.
Don't you feel the reflex in your throat?
No gag reflexes, just like
you don't have any gag reflex.
No, just like what's his name from Japan?
Brother Toya.
Brother Toya, yeah.
But he does the high pressure sucking. He works with his throat muscles.
Yeah. Now I just have to pull that condom out of my mouth and put it on my dick, and I'll solve my kid having problem.
Yeah, you have to do that. That's the first step you're gonna do, is start wearing a condom.
Yeah.
On daily basis.
Live and learn.
All your kids out there, start using condom.
Yeah, who knows how many there are. There's not as many as a friend of mine here in Stockholm. He works in the hospital in Karolinska, and the biggest hospital in Sweden. And he works in this research department. And I guess I should or shouldn't. Hey, shout out to Thomas. And
Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas. And the sperm bank happens to be 2 floors below him in his office. So he's gotten into the habit, when he's feeling a little bit frisky at work, he just, throws the newspaper under the arm and heads over to the elevator and heads down for a quick tug because you get like 400 kroner, like $50 for it each time.
Wow.
And I think you can do it like once a month or once every 2 months.
Okay, so there is a limit how often you can do it.
Yeah, you can't. It's not like you can go down there every day, but he goes down there and takes a quick fika or a coffee break.
Hey guys, I'm just going for a little break.
Well,
Oh,
he's a really outgoing guy, and he's said that it's become a pretty much like a running joke in his office. Like he kind of lets everyone know where he's going and comes back. Like,
but he's the only one doing it, or is it more people in his office?
He's definitely the only one doing it.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I bet that if Dan was having that kind of work and have a sperm bank 2 levels down,
he'd never get any work done. We should also mention we were talking a little bit yesterday about more things about being wrong, and we had this little Obamacare discussion a couple weeks ago. I knew when Dan was explaining it that it might not be entirely accurate, and what did Stodd have to say about it?
Well, I can quote him here. It wasn't nice. It was brutal, and this is what he was texting me about. I tried to make it through the podcast again. Listening to you guys talk about Obamacare maybe be the dumbest thing in internet history, which says a lot.
It does.
Well, and I told him that because don't blame me, because I was just asking the questions about it because I don't know anything about it.
Let's just say some of the comments that we made in that podcast might not have been factually correct. And next, we'll make an effort to have our fact checker do a better job before discussing these types of things in the future.
Exactly. And the only thing the thing that I don't think was correct was the monthly fee.
Yeah, $800 a month.
Even when it got back down to, I thought it was $200. That's a lot of money too.
We'll just blame this one on Dan.
Yeah, that is your fault, and we're gonna invite Stodd for one episode, and he can come in and talk us straight up and teach us a lesson.
Yeah. Sorry, Stodd. So I heard that you have planned out your next worldwide adventure.
Yes, we have. We was going beside if we're going to Mexico or Australia next year.
And
the lottery ticket went to Mexico because even here Stodd was involved, telling me that you're not old. Old people go to Australia. So then I had nothing to do. I just, okay, fine, we go to Mexico.
Well, so when are you going?
I don't know. I have so many plans right now, but traveling, but I don't have the time because I'm going to Japan with you and Dan.
Yeah, that was my next question. It was, where does Japan fit into all this?
Japan is going first in April.
Okay.
And then we'll see if me and Natasha do Mexico during the summer. And
okay.
you.
I'm not going to Mexico in the summer.
Why not?
Because Mexico is like a place that you go in the winter.
Okay, well,
it's, like why you shouldn't leave the beautiful Nordic summer to go to like hotter summer. You should go to Mexico in the winter when, you're getting away from the snow and the shit weather and like sideways
kids,
all that kind of shit. Kids.
Okay, but then should we then go to Mexico next winter? Not this winter coming, but the winter after that.
That could be a definite option. I mean, I don't want to tell you when to go on a trip, but
Well, we have an open discussion here, and because you're invited yourself yesterday to Mexico.
Indeed, yeah. I did.
Like everything in this podcast, I always make decisions here with Dan or you, and then a couple of weeks later I tell Natasha about it.
After you've booked the tickets.
After she heard the podcast, it's like last time. So you're going to Japan? Well, didn't I tell you? No, you didn't. Now you know. So, but she knows about the Mexico trip, but she doesn't know that you're gonna be involved yet.
Oh yeah. Maybe just hold off on telling her that part.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that why also we took Mexico, because then both Dan and Stad can fly down and hang out with us a couple of days.
Yes. Do you know where in Mexico you want to go?
Oh, I haven't figured out yet. We haven't checked much about it.
Because there's like nice Mexico, there's bad Mexico, there's dangerous Mexico, there's crazy Mexico. You know, there's many different places in Mexico.
Have you been to Mexico?
I've never been to Mexico.
Okay. I want to go to the friendly Mexico.
Friendly Mexico.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
I'm guessing you're the American folks, Stod and Dan and etc. They'll know where to go. They're experts.
Yeah, I think Stad been to Mexico plenty of times.
Yeah.
So, and because he loves tacos.
Yeah, got to be the best. Just the food experience alone is a reason to go there.
Oh, I think the food in Mexico would be great, amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And that's what the thing that blew me away with Japan, like the food.
Yeah.
You ate like sushi for no money at all, and it tastes 10 times better than the high class sushi you get in the Nordic countries.
Yeah, I mean the stuff we have here is just abysmal.
I know. So no, that's why I think that the food will, and that's also for us a funny way to travel when we can travel for the food and not just the people and the culture, but just and also involve the food in it.
You should take a Caribbean cruise.
The boat.
Go on one of those cruises where you're like 30 years younger than the next oldest person.
And then I gotta take a selfie on the boat and send to Stad and say like, hey, you told me not to go to Australia because only old people go there.
So I took a cruise.
Just a bunch of old people in their Speedos.
Oh man, that would be brilliant.
Actually, I would love to go on a cruise one time.
No, dude. Oh, delinquents, idiots, and assholes. That's who takes cruises.
Even the big cruises, not only the Finland ferry.
All of them, all of them, especially the big ones. That's not traveling. Sitting on a boat and looking out at the water going by is not traveling. Sorry.
Well, yeah, okay, I see that.
Yeah,
but still, I think you have so much stuff on the boat you can do.
Yeah.
A cruise.
Yeah, you can sit and hit a golf ball into a net, and then you can go over to the swim-up bar, and then you can go play bingo at Grandma.
Well, it sounds like PP Island.
Fair point.
There you also can sit in the bar in the pool and having cocktails.
This is true, but just don't take a cruise.
No, I won't. It's bad enough I had taken but that's many years ago. I took the Finland ferry, and I took the Danish ferry here in Norway a couple of months ago in work, in business, and still that was enough for me.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, these people on these ferries going between, because here in, if we're gonna explain this for the American listeners and the rest of the world, that because in Stockholm or Sweden we have what's called the Finland ferry, it's a ferry going between Sweden and Finland, and they go back, and a lot of people doing it over the weekend because you can buy tax-free alcohol. And Norway have, as they call, the Danish ferry.
Yeah, and it's cheap as fuck. Like, it's for a ticket and you get a bed, you get your own cabin and all this stuff. And sometimes the tickets are like almost free. Like, yeah.
Especially because I was riding the Finland ferry probably 8 years ago, maybe 7 something. Also in work with a bunch of colleagues, and one of the guys, he loved going on the ferry. He always took his wife to the honeymoon, and when they celebrate each year the wedding day, they go on a cruise to Finland. So he he's know how to do this. So he told us like, this is how we do it. As soon as we left the harbor, you go to the taxi store, you buy a bunch of alcohol, get to your room, and then you drink in your room until you get drunk, and then go to the bar.
And after going to the buffet dinner.
Exactly. The buffet dinner cost 120 crowns maybe. $12.
Oh man.
And then you get a free glass of wine or a beer.
Yeah. They have the beer coming out of the fountains right beside the Coca-Cola.
Yeah. I think we were 4 people from work. And we started drinking directly, and we were so drunk the whole night. And I think we stayed up the whole night.
Oh.
We just kept on drinking until morning.
Yeah, when you're walking through town in Stockholm on a weekend or in Helsinki, I'm sure, you just see all these like wasted drunk people like walking through town, and it's the people that are, you know, they've come over from Helsinki and then they're here for the day, and then they just go on like a 36 to 48 hour bender. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because I think because it's just going into the harbor for a couple hours, ain't it?
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
it turns back.
like 8 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite comedian, Bill Burr, has an excellent his main thing is all about we're too many people on this earth. There's too many people. We need to have like population control. So he says we should start blowing up cruise ships because that's the best way to like gather all of the useless people on earth. And then as long as you sink cruise ships, you're doing society good.
Oh, well, that's true.
Like all funny comedy, you know, like all funny jokes, there's a logic to them. It kind of does make sense.
That's true. And it was also a TV show in Sweden about people going on those cruise ships.
Yes.
Like a soap opera or something.
Yeah, like a reality show, right?
Yeah. And it was people's going each weekend.
One of the bartenders from Carlitos on the island, he was on the show. He was
Arnold.
Arnold, that's right.
That's true. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was because they was following people that going each weekend going on these cruise ships.
So what does that say about maybe CoPP was just one big land-based cruise ship?
Yeah. That we should collect info about everybody on the island the same time we were there, and then see where are people now and what are they doing.
No, and what are they going to be doing in 30 years? They're all going to be taking a cruise.
Exactly. Except Darky.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, who knows where he is these days?
Yeah, haven't heard from him. So
he's out. I know he's out of the clink. He got out of the clink like a few years ago, and
he did.
But yeah. But then he's disappeared again.
Okay.
And, so I don't know if he's back in the clink or what.
How many years was he in for?
He did like 7 years in Thailand, and then I think he did a couple more in the UK, and then he was out, and then I haven't heard from him again for about 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some of the people get in Thailand prison, and some people start working as a bartender on a cruise ship.
Exactly.
That's where we ended up.
I remember like he had been locked up for like 3 or 4 or 5 years maybe in Thailand, and I went to visit him in the prison when I was there on a holiday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and so I brought him some stuff and some books and some cigarettes, and I was a bit nervous, going in there. How's he gonna be? All this kind of. This guy walks out, huge smile on his face, same old Darky. It was. Yeah, he said he was training hard for boxing because the king in Thailand, they pardon one person a year in prison if you win like the Thai boxing match in prison.
Ah.
They have like a big tournament in prison, and the king pardons one person a year. So he said he was training for that.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a hell of a boxer.
Well, so were you.
Well, Unfortunately, I can't say the same for you.
No, I didn't have a punch at all. I just got one punch and was down. So
Yeah.
I will never say that I'm a good fighter.
No, you are not a good fighter.
No, but
I remember picking you up off the mat and then trying to put your nose back in place.
I know. My nose is still crooked after that.
Oh,
I don't want to say a fight. I just want to say that punch.
Yeah, it wasn't a fight. It was just a punch.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of drunk, so I will blame on that.
Yeah, yeah. You were feeling no pain that night.
Well, I can tell you that the next day I woke up, I feel a lot of pain.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
even the day after was leaving the island going up to Bangkok.
Oof.
And the last day I was spending all my money buying t-shirts to bring home, and it hurts each time I was pulling a t-shirt over my head and take it off to try them. So it hurt.
Oh dear.
But that's many years ago now.
Many years ago. You can hardly tell.
Exactly. I almost forgot it until I see myself in the mirror and see my nose. I remember that day.
Yeah. See, it's just like it's a gift. It's a memory.
It is. You always break stuff for me. First my nose, and then you broke my kitchen knife during the wedding.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
So
That's only two things.
it's just stuff that can be replaceable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So, do you think is Dan coming back next week?
I hope so. He said, I hope it's going to be better and join us next week. You never know, because when I talked to him yesterday, he wasn't in his good shape, so he allowed me to have you on the show.
Oh, so he knows about this.
He knows about it. I had to ask him.
Good. I feel better already. Well, he'll be back.
Yeah, and because I talked to him, and we're gonna do an episode when I'm in Stockholm on probably Sunday.
Very good. You should definitely do an episode when you're here in Stockholm, and it'd be great if he's back on.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, if you and I are, because we're gonna have lunch on Sunday.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a little bit tipsy, and then we can just sit in the same spot and do a podcast. Dan.
Exactly. I will bring my microphone, and as long as I find a place with an internet, we can call him up on Skype, and we make a show out, three of us.
Beautiful.
I think that it could be funny if we do an episode on together in Stockholm.
Definitely.
But I'll have to see when he's awake, because he always laying down in bed when I'm talking to him.
Maybe we should send him some flowers.
Yeah, and some roses.
Yeah, get well soon card. We'll start calling him Ferris from now on. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Exactly. I think that he's just laying home in bed right now, just woken up, and can't wait for me to put this episode out so he can listen to it.
Yeah, he's faking it for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He's a faker.
He's a big time faker.
I know. Well, I don't think we have so much more.
No, but that's good. It should be a short one now that Dan's not here. Just to check in and a hello and back in business next week. Exactly.
And I think that around 35 minutes is a good time for an episode, because then if it gets too long, I mean, for myself, when I listen to podcasts, I listen on my way to work and on my back from work, and I want to have an episode that is gonna start when I leave home and it's gonna be finished when I get to my work.
Yeah. So I hope all of our listeners have a great day at work. In that case,
exactly.
Down in your office chair,
enjoying the summer. This is a good time for everybody listening to the podcast when it's a vacation time, especially here in Scandinavia. Your American don't have so much vacation, but I mean,
yeah, they don't know what that word means.
No. And for you, Thomas, I think that next time you're going down to the spermbank to have a pleasure time, put an episode in your head, and we'll see. I think it's gonna go good for you. Will that listen to us two talk on the same time.
Yeah, maybe we can send Thomas some Marcus and Dan pictures to help him pass the time when he's down in the bank next week.
Absolutely. Just give us a call and I'll send them directly through email or something. So, well, everybody, thank you so much for listening in. We are on Twitter at it's Marcus Dan Pod, and we are on Facebook, Marcus and Dan Podcast. So you find us there and subscribe to the show so you get the latest episode directly into your phone. And I think that's all we had, buddy.
Sounds very good. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and look forward to getting Dan back in the saddle.
Exactly. Me too. And it was a pleasure having you on the show again, and you are welcome whenever you want to.
Sounds great. You have yourself a great night.
Same to you, and I see you on Sunday.
Ciao.
Cool. Bye.